morning. My name is Ike Henry Chinoso. I'm here to talk about Apple and Microsoft. Okay, let's start with the overview on the technology industry. In terms of the market size, the global technology industry is expected to reach approximately $5 trillion in IT as at 2024. Computing major providers like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Control is about 61% of the cloud market, with AWS alone holding roughly about 33%. Now let's talk about the AI investments. The AI technology market is projected to reach $1.4 trillion as at 2009, driven by widespread adoption. And the cybersecurity growth market is anticipated to grow from $184 million in 2023 to over $300 billion by 2026. Wow. Now it's time for us to move to the 5G technology. The global rollout of 5G is expected to generate $1 trillion in economic output by 2035. That's about 10 to 11 years from now. And sustainability focus. Tech companies are increasingly committing to sustainability, with major firms like Apple and Google aiming for carbon neutrality. Now we'll talk about the digital transformation. The pandemic accelerated the shift towards digital tools, which increased investment in remote work and recommence. Major players, companies like Apple and Microsoft, boost market capitalization exceeding $2.5 trillion each, highlighting their industry leadership. Okay, now it's time to move to the Apple market capitalization as of 2024. Apple holds a market capitalization of approximately $3.47 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies globally, blocking Apple. Annual revenue, the company reported annual revenue of $391.04 billion, reflecting a slight decline of 2.02% from the previous year. Product portfolio, iPhone is Apple's largest revenue contributor, accounting for nearly 49% of total revenue in Q4 2024. Other key products include the iPad, the Mac, the wearable device like the Apple Watch. Service segment, Apple is expanding its service, which include Apple Store, Apple Music, and iCloud. The Apple Store features over $3.84 million. Apps attract around 650 million weekly activities users. Workforce, Apple employs approximately 164,000 people, focusing on enhancing users' experience across its ecosystem of device and services. Okay, so it's time to proceed. So now we've talked about this. So it's now time for us to move to Microsoft. Microsoft market capitalization as of 2024. Microsoft market capitalization is approximately $2.52 trillion, making it one of the largest tech companies in the world CRN. Revenue, the company reported a total revenue of $227.15 billion for the fiscal year ending June 2023, reflecting a growth of about 18% compared to the previous year. Product portfolio, Microsoft offering span various sectors, including cloud computing, Azure, productivity, software, Microsoft 365, and gaming Xbox. Azure remains a significant growth driver, contributing to a 31% increase in its revenue in 2024. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Porter's 5 forces. Threats of new entrants. The technology industry experiences moderate to high threats from new entrant. Barriers to entry vary, while software developed has low initial costs. Hardware manufacturing requires significant capital and expertise. Cohen and Leventhal in 1990. Now, bargaining power of suppliers. Suppliers' power in tech sector is generally low to moderate. Many companies depend on the various suppliers, reducing any single supply influencer. Porter, 2008. Pestle analysis of tech industry. The category, the issue, impact on industry, conclusion, opportunity, and threats. Political, increased data protection laws, e.g. GDPR. Impact industry, companies need to invest in compliance, increase operational cost, but improving consumers' trust. Conclusion, opportunity or threats? Opportunity. Economic, global inflation, issue, global inflation and rising production costs. Higher costs for manufacturing and product pricing, potentially reducing consumers' spending. Social, growing consumer focus on sustainability, demand for eco-friendly tech products, pushing companies in innovate in sustainable practice. Opportunity. Now, in terms of the technology, we have rapid advance in AI and automation. In terms of impact on the industry, we have the accelerate innovation cycles, but requires significant investment in R&D. In terms of the environmental, we have pressure to reduce e-waste. Impact on industry, adoption of recycling program and modular design, increase initial cost, but enhancing brand. Okay, now we move to the next slide, which is the internal analysis, unique resources. Okay, category, Apple, iconic brand known for innovation, design, and ecosystem. Microsoft, strong enterprise, reputation, widely trusted globally. Product ecosystem, Apple, seamless integration across device, Mac, iPhone, iPad. Microsoft, strong integration of service, Windows, Azure, Office. Apple, Mac OS and iOS. Microsoft, we have the Windows, Xbox, and OS. Hardware expertise for Apple. We have the proprietary design, A series and M series chips. For the Microsoft, we have the Surface device, unique but innovative. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, corporate and social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, involves business integrating social and environmental concern into their operation and interaction with stakeholders. CSR promotes CEO-friendly practice such as reducing carbon emission and waste as seen in companies like Patagonia. It also supports community development through education, healthcare, and philanthropy, benefiting society. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Apple and Microsoft CSR, the ORIs and the practice. Apple applies triple bottom line theory by balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship. Initiatives like renewable energy usage and recycling programs, e.g. Dyson robots, aim to reduce environmental harm while maintaining profitability. Microsoft, the stakeholders theory of CSR align most closely with Microsoft's approach to corporate social responsibility. This theory emphasizes that businesses should consider the interests of all stakeholders, not just shareholders, in their decision-making processes. Apple, environmental sustainability. Apple focuses on reducing its carbon footprint by transitioning to 100% renewable energy across operation and developing energy efficient products. The company also emphasizes material recycling through initiatives like Daisy recycling robots. Microsoft is committed to becoming carbon negative by 2030. The company invests in renewable energy projects, promotes sustainability data centers, and aims to remove more carbon. The company prioritizes, for Apple, the company prioritizes creating an inclusive workplace by promoting diversity in hiring and supporting initiatives to reduce inequality, reasoning with CSR theories on social justice. Microsoft, through Microsoft Philanthropies division, the company donates technology, grants, and time to non-profit and education initiatives. Programs like Tech for Social Impact support organizations in addressing global challenges such as the healthcare and education. In conclusion, Fisk, Peter, People Plan Profits, How to Embrace Sustainability for Innovation and Business Growth, Conga Page, Publisher, 2010. Freeman Henry Harrison, JS Weeks, AS Palmer, BL, and Nicole, 2010 Stakeholder Theory. The State of the Art, Cambridge University Press. Microsoft 2023 Corporate Social Responsibility CSR Online, available at https://www.microsoft.com. Accessed 4 December 2024. Control AB, Shabana KM 2010, A Business Case for Corporate and Social Responsibility, Review on Concept Research and Practice, International Journal of Management Review, 12-1 pp 851OF. Porter, ME 2008, The 5 Competitive Forces That Shape Strategy, Harvard Business Review, Slyworks, AJ 1996, Value Migration, How to Think Several Moves Ahead of the Competition, Harvard Business Review Press. TechD, DJ 2018, Dynamic Capability and Workable Management System Theory, Journal of Management and Organization, 243-359-368. Thank you so much. My name is Ike Henry. That's my name.
Good morning. My name is Christopher. I'm a student of Roehampton. I'm here to present my comparison of two companies in the oil industry, namely Shell Petroleum and British Petroleum. Here I'm here to present the CSR comparison between the two countries. Now I'll start with a brief introduction into the oil industry in general. The oil and gas industry, also known as the energy sector, relates to the process of exploration, development, and refinement of crude oil and natural gas. There are, however, 3 components of the oil and gas industry, one for each part of the value chain. Due to the complexity of each component, most companies focus on only one stream. Either they focus on the upstream, downstream, or the midstream. The upstream is mostly the exploration part where they go and do the drilling and all that, while the downstream is mostly the marketing, and the midstream is in between the two. So the oil and gas industry has brought in over $1 billion in annual profit for much of the past decades. A peak of over $2.5 trillion was reported in 2008, 2011, and 2012. Now, a brief overview of Shell Petroleum. Shell Petroleum operates across more than 70 countries, spanning across the oil and gas exploration, production, and refining and sales. That's to tell you that they operate in both the upstream, downstream, and the midstream. Shell has significant upstream and downstream integrated gas division, including investment in renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydrogen. The company aims to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, focusing on cleaner energy solutions and carbon offset initiative. Shell faces regulatory and environmental pressures as it navigates the global shift towards sustainable energy practices. Now, a brief overview of British Petroleum. British Petroleum origins trace back to the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, founded in 1909 to exploit oil in Iran. It evolved through various names, becoming British Petroleum in 1954, and then British PLC in 2001. British Petroleum headquarters is in London, England, and is one of the world's largest oil and gas companies, part of the Supermajors Group, consistently ranked high in revenue and profits globally. British Petroleum is in nearly 80 countries, producing approximately 3.7 million barrels of oil equivalent daily, and with proven reserves close to 20 billion barrels. With a market capitalization of about 98 billion as of 2022, British Petroleum ranks as the fourth largest investor oil-owned company and holds the 35th position on the Fortune Global 500 companies. Now, I'm going to give you a brief analysis of Pestel in the oil and gas industry, a brief Pestel analysis of the oil and gas industry. Now, when we talk of the issue under political, economic, social, technology, environmental, legal, and political, economic, social, technological, environment, and the legal environment. Now, under British Petroleum, there's issue of government regulation and policies on carbon emissions. Likewise, under British Petroleum, we also have stricter environmental laws, increased cost and demand for cleaner technologies. Therefore, the political environment is a threat to British Petroleum and Shell Petroleum. Now, under the economic environment, we have global oil price fluctuations. Under British Petroleum, we also have directly impact profitability and project viability. Therefore, it is also a threat to the oil and gas industry. Then under the social environment, we also have shift towards environmental sustainability. All oil and gas industries, all oil and gas companies and the industry in general are moving towards sustainability in the sector. Therefore, in the social environment, it is a threat to them, because under British Petroleum, we have public pressure to adopt greener practices and reduce fossil fuel dependency. There is a lot of demand from the environment for the oil and gas sector. Even in the United Nations conferences, they've been talking about sustainability. So there's a lot of pressure on them to adopt more sustainable process of drilling this natural resource from the environment. Therefore, it is a threat to the oil and gas industry. Now, we also have an opportunity still in the social environment, like rising energy demand in developing nations. There are more demand for energy in the developing nations, and this is also an opportunity for British Petroleum, and also expansion of market potential for oil and gas companies, and it's also an opportunity too for Shell Petroleum. We also have in the technological environment, there are a lot of advancements in renewable energies, and this has also posed a kind of threat too to British Petroleum and to the oil industry in general. Things like enhancement competition from cleaner energy sources, which are also a threat, because more and more people are beginning to apply more and more technology in sourcing this natural resource. In the environmental factors, climate change and global warming also accelerating the shift of renewable and stricter environmental compliance. These are also a threat to the oil and gas industry as per Pestel analysis. The way you talk of the legal environment, there is also pressure on compliance with international and environmental laws. There are also forces adoption of cleaner energy practices and technology, which is also a threat when it comes to Pestel analysis for the oil and gas industry. Then when we talk of, we will also look at the butterfly forces, how it affects the oil and gas industry. When you talk of the new entrants, the bargaining power of suppliers, the bargaining power of buyers, the threat of substitutes, and the industry rivalry among the players in industry. For instance, when you talk of the threat of the new entrants, there is a very high entry barrier, including massive capital requirements, technology complexity, and government restrictions, which limits new players. Established firms benefit from economy of scale. Therefore, those people that are already playing in the industry, they always try to push or restrict new entrants. And again, the cost of coming into the industry is also very high. So it's not always easy for a new oil and gas company to just come into the industry, because the barrier to entry is very high. Then we also have the bargaining power of the suppliers. Suppliers include equipment providers and oil-rich nations like OPEC, which can control prices through production quotas, limited reserves, increase suppliers' power. For instance, suppliers such as OPEC, we all know that how OPEC has been able to put barriers, telling some countries not to produce more than a specific number of barrels per day, which also is a kind of power that has been given to these suppliers to operate. Therefore, and this impact, the impact of these OPEC policies on the players are high, because suppliers heavily influence pricing and supply. Therefore, they control the supply of this natural resource in the economy, or in the world economy, as you may see, design. Bargaining power of buyers. Buyers range from consumers to industry entities, while renewable energy adoption increases buyer power. Limited alternative to oil gas reduce it for many users. The impact of this is that moderate to high price sensitivity and substitute drive buyers leverage. Threat of substitute. Renewables like solar, wind, and EV pose a growing threat as government promotes sustainability, technology reduces costs. The impact of this is high because substitute challenge traditional energy, just like the EVs. There is more demand for electricity as against crude oil. Then in talk of the industry rivalry in the five forces, there are major players and national oil companies compete intensely on cost and access to reserves. Price volatility heightens competition. Impact, high rivalry define the industry. So Porter five forces have made us to understand that there is a very high rivalry in this industry. The impact of the bargaining power is very high. The power of buyers too are also moderately to high. The threat of substitute is also very high, and the industry rivalry the industry rivalry in this specific industry is also very high, according to five forces theory. Then we now talk of the value chain analysis between British Petroleum and Shell. When we talk of the value chain analysis, we are talking about the primary activities of these companies, what they do internally, and how it affects the whole industry. For instance, we can call the value chain as what the activities, what they do to project value to the environment. And when we talk of the primary activities, we have inbound logistics for Shell, which brings about efficient supply chain for raw materials, global sourcing of crude oil, and storage facilities. For British Petroleum, we have strong logistics for crude sourcing and partnership with suppliers for efficient material flow. Then we talk of the operations of Shell. There is also integrated refinery operations, energy transition project, and extensive exploration and production. That is for Shell. Then for British Petroleum, we have high efficiency refining, focus on green energy projects, and exploration in strategic regions. We talk of the marketing and sales for these two companies. Under Shell, we have strong brand presence, customer loyalty programs, Shell rewards, and business-to-business partnership. Under British Petroleum, we have emphasis on customer relations, branding, and retail network for fuel and lubricants. Then under is on services that these two companies provide, we have customer support. Under Shell, they have customer support, fleet services. They are even going into the EV charging stations and energy consulting. Under British Petroleum, we have retail services like British Petroleum Charge Master, under EV charging, and customer loyalty programs and energy solutions. So we can see that this in the industry, these big players are now going into the EV. They are becoming sustainable as per President 5 forces. They are now trying to grow, because any industry that doesn't adapt to the changing needs of the environment will end up going to the corporate graveyard. So you can see Shell and British Petroleum, how gigantic they are in the industry. They are still trying to adapt to the modern trend. Then, as per the value chain, we have the secondary activities that they are also performing, which as such as firm infrastructure, advanced IT infrastructure, global operation network, and sustainability-driven governance. Then under British Petroleum, we have strong infrastructure with digital transformation initiative and integrated operation worldwide. We also have the human resource management. Under Shell, they focus on diversity and inclusion, skill development for energy transition, and employee well-being programs. Under British Petroleum, we also have employee engagement in renewable projects, focus on training for digital skills and sustainability in HR practices. Under technological development, for British Petroleum, we have focus on green hydrogen, wind energy project, and digital technology in oil and gas. While for Shell, we have investment in renewable technologies, carbon capture and storage, and innovation in clean energy. Then under procurement, under the value chain for procurement for Shell, we have partnership with eco-friendly suppliers, sustainable sourcing practices. Then under British Petroleum, we have collaboration with green suppliers, commitment to sustainable procurement in global operations. Then we talk of the VRIO framework, that is the value that is under the value chain, that is the rarity, immutability, and the organization, the capability of the organization to exploit such value. So under the VRIO for Shell, we have strong brand reputation, we have extensive global network, we have advanced technology, we have sustainable energy initiative. Then for under British Petroleum, we have brand strength, which is very high and valuable. We have investment in renewables, which is also valuable. We also have strategic partnership, which is also very high, valuable. For British Petroleum, under cost effective operations, they are also valuable. You know, and some of the rare strength of Shell includes strong brand reputation. They don't really have it. That strong brand reputation as compared to some other oil and gas companies, you know, and they have some like Shell has some immutable resource, those things that cannot easily be imitated, like advanced technology for exploration and sustainable energy initiative, which they've been practicing. Likewise, British Petroleum, when it comes to strategic partnership, under immutability is very high. They have strategic partnership with some other vendors, and when it comes to cost-effective operations, which is immutable for British Petroleum, they also practice that. Then we now have the CSR theory. What Shell does for CSR to add more value to their operations. For instance, Shell, in a nutshell, Shell approach to corporate social responsibility is deeply rooted in stakeholders theory, which emphasizes balancing the needs for shareholders with those of the society and the environment. Shell integrates CSR by addressing environmental concerns, community development, and ethical business practices, aiming to align its operations with sustainable development goals. Then Shell also, as a company, focuses on reducing greenhouse gas emissions, investing in renewable energy, and ensuring responsible resource extraction. Additionally, Shell engages with local communities through educational programs, infrastructure development, and employment opportunities. The CSR theory for British Petroleum is as follows. British Petroleum approach to corporate social responsibility aligns with Carroll's pyramid of CSR, which emphasizes 4 tiers of economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities. At the economic level, British Petroleum prioritizes profitability through efficient operation and investment in future energy market like renewables. Legally, the company adheres to strict environmental regulations and international standards, showcasing compliance in resource extraction and emission reporting. Therefore, British Petroleum always reports on their emissions and how they affect the environment. Then ethically, British Petroleum aims to exceed regulatory requirements by adopting sustainable practices such as transitioning to lower carbon energy and enhancing safety measures. On the philanthropic front, British Petroleum invests in community development, education, and disaster relief efforts, demonstrating a commitment to social well-being. Then corporate social responsibility on ethical framework. Now, Shell and British Petroleum have both embraced CSR initiative to enhance their reputations as responsible corporations, especially after environmental controversies like the issue of the British Petroleum oil spill sometime in the Atlantic Ocean. They've been able to see how they can mitigate such occurrence in the future. Then they've also applied ethical framework, including Carol's CSR pyramid, to emphasize economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic activities. Their CSR initiatives focus on reducing carbon footprint, supporting sustainable development, and investing in community projects. Just as you see them, they've started investing in EV charging stations. They are now knowing that sustainability is where the world is going to now. So you see all of them now trying to invest in these electric vehicles and electric charging stations. Even where you have them selling their petroleum and their downstream sector, you see their charging stations for EVs being found there. So now we now have the critical success factors. What makes these people successful? Under Shell, we have innovation in renewable energy and low carbon solutions. We also have global supply chain efficiency, strategic alliance and partnership. We also have strong brand and reputation management for Shell. Under British Petroleum, their critical success factor, what made them successful in the industry, they have been committed to net zero and renewable energy investment. They've also been committed to cost optimization and operational efficiency. They've also been committed to risk management and environmental compliance. Therefore, this is where I would like to stop in this presentation to give room for my colleague to continue with further criticisms on what I've presented. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Back to this section, I would like to criticize some few things I noticed during my colleague's Christopher's presentation. I would like to criticize number one, Christopher did not explain further how the critical success factor plays vital role in the oil and gas industry. He never mentioned how they have the critical success factor that plays that kind of role in the oil and gas industry. And secondly, I noticed he did not explain further how the ethical framework, such as Carol's CSR pyramid, emphasize on economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities. I think he needs to, make mention and touch those areas. And another one I noticed, Chris did not explain how the value and chain VIRO frame works in details. We need a proper details of how the VIRO frame and the value chain and VIRO frame works in a proper details. I think these are few points I'll be able to criticize in this presentation. Thank you. 3, 2, 1, action!
I'm back once more. My name is Christopher Anyao. So I'm here to just criticize some of the presentation or some part of the presentation my peer, which happens to be my colleague, Mr. Henry Ike Chinonso did. And some of his presentation was fine, but he failed to talk more on some aspect of the presentation. For instance, Mr. Henry did not give details of how the VIRO framework as it relates to the industry. He just presented on it didn't really go deep for us to know what actually is this VIRO and how it affects the industry in general. Secondly, my peer, Mr. Henry, he did not expatiate further on this CSR initiative of these two companies. He didn't let us know how this CSR initiative boosts the company's image, like cite examples, He didn't really go further. Thirdly, he did not really explain the triple bottom line. He made mention of it, fine, but he did not go deep. He didn't really explain to us, as in to me, for me to really understand what this triple bottom line, how it influences or affects the two companies and how they use it to adapt to the industry. It didn't really let me understand fully. So I think those are some of the criticisms I was able to point out. Thank you very much. Thank you.